Foreboding dreams, ill omens, allies in need, lost twins, and a growing darkness. These are pretty much the things that we are going to be talking about in this episode of Book Talk. Specifically, we're going to be talking about it because this video is covering the second book in Ellie Raine's awesome series, the NecroSeam Chronicles. Whether it is the morning for you, the afternoon, or the evening, grab a beverage because today we are going to be talking about Orbs of Azure by Ellie Raine. I'm going to get this because it's kind of cold here still. Okay, there are not a lot of things that can just like make my spine just like go almost pear-shaped. And I say that because I read a lot of books, and I have often made the comparison that the NecroSeam Chronicles reminds me a lot of the emotions I feel when I read a series like the Infernal Devices, the Mortal Instruments, or the Last Hour series. Let's just say I've not felt anything like this in a while. So the Orbs of Azure picks up almost exactly where Willow of Ashes leaves off, and they are on their way to talk to the King of Everland, King Galdon. And to say that this king definitely doesn't have the regalness of a king and instead more of a child playing with a chess pieces from the Franklin Mint and are just like causing ever which way damage with it. Yeah, that pretty much explains this very, very delicate situation. So Orbs of Azure starts out with the twins, Willow, Lily, Jacques, and their two new companions, Kurik and Annabelle, going with the DeVoes to go speak to King Galdon, and it gets increasingly complicated and difficult from there. Because there is a certain thing that happens. It is an attack from the Necrophera on the capital city, and it causes a war. And it's a war that definitely has some very grave consequences to it. Like very. Okay, so a way to sort of describe this is that, do you know how in World War II, after the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, everybody who was of Japanese descent or was an immigrant in the entirety of the United States was seen as a threat or a spy? And they were taken to sort of concentration camps like the Jews were by the Germans. Yeah, that pretty much happens with anybody who is of Grimish descent or has a death hallows within the city, within the Kingdom of Everland, because it is proclaimed by law that anyone who is a Reaper, is of Grimish descent, or has a death hallows is basically taken from their very peaceful lives, and they are taken to this maximum security prison where they are basically tortured, and many of them die. I mean, when I was listening to the audiobook and everything, I was just like, it was, whew, it gave me chills, and not necessarily in the best way. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the book and everything because it talks about, because it goes back and forth between different stories and everything, and it also talks about how Alex and Xavier are basically just trying to get back to their parents. They're trying to find out what's going on. They're trying to also save their dear friends, Jacques, Lily, and a child named Oliver, who, let's just say, they all got captured and were taken to this maximum security prison. But I will say this, it is because of this book that my ship list for the entirety of the NecroSeam Chronicles is basically outlined in this book. I ship, of course, Xavier with Willow because that's just a very cute relationship. I ship Alex with Bianca because Bianca is just awesome. I ship Jacques with Lily because of what they go through in their prison arc. And there's so many more ships and everything. And we're also introduced to many more characters within Orbs of Azure, and it's really fun to go about and explore and everything. But this, much like Willow of Ashes, is a adventure that increasingly gets more difficult as it goes, because of the fact that now, where there was a war between the Necrophera sentients and the Grim Reapers, now it's a war between the Reapers and the false King of Everland. Ellie does a very good job in like making you feel like emotions and anxiety when reading through some of this, because it's like, oh my god, please don't let them get caught, please don't let them get caught, please don't let them caught. But at the same time, it's like you're nearly pulling your hair out, because it's like, how can you not notice some of these things? But the good news is that we actually get a new Reaper brother along the way, but we also get a lot of clarification of why the sentient Celia is so humdrum on trying to get her descendants in play, or to get her descendants to come over to her side. And I will say this, my ever-loving hatred for Macarius, one of the main antagonists of the series, I will forever grow a hatred towards. And I'm not sure if it's because he's technically a cobra, which is weird because I love snakes, but at the same time, it's just like, why? His character motivations, I'm not exactly sure on. It's just, I don't really know why Macarius is doing what he is, but I've also not started on Pearl of Emerald or any other books in the series, and I will probably get my answers when I start on those. We do actually meet a certain character that is hinted at in Willow of Ashes, but we actually get to meet one of the oldest relic bloods, actually the first relic blood of the Kingdom of Aspire, and we meet Dream. I don't know why I like Dream so much. I think it's because it's just like he's very knowledgeable, and of course he's a seer and everything, because as a relic blood he has all three of the Hallows for the Kingdom of Dream, but at the same time it's like, wow, okay. He's just like so nonchalant, and he's sort of playful and everything, and it's like, yeah, I can understand why his shift is a fox, so. And Dream does actually play a very big part in this series, because as we learn later on, it's that Dream actually is the one who sends Willow on her mission, and also sends Annabelle and Kurik on their mission. But I have a feeling that he sort of holds a lot on his shoulders because of the prophecies he has. And I am very interested to see in Pearl of Emerald where this goes in terms of plot, but also in just absolute sheer emotion. All in all, I really do recommend Orbs of Azure like I recommend Willow of Ashes. In fact, scratch that. I basically recommend the entirety of the NecroSeam Chronicles series, even though I'm not finished with it. I highly recommend it to anyone who loves Gothic fantasy and who just absolutely love like the concept of like humans having animal features, and whenever they're stressed out, they're nervous, or they're just absolutely elated, that these features just pop up like their ears or claws or teeth. It's just like it's very amazing to think about, and I love the aspect of the mythology that Ellie has just written and has literally woven through this entire story, because it's really, really incredible. And I will absolutely never get tired of talking about how wonderful this series is and everything. And when I finally start and get through Pearl of Emerald, it's probably going to be like, wow. Because it's like, it's going to be an interesting bit because of what happens at the end of Orbs of Azure. I will not spoil anything, but because of what happens at the end of Orbs of Azure, I can't wait to see the adventures of Alex and Xavier and Willow, Jacques, Lily, Oliver, and their entire group of companions, because this is going to be extremely entertaining. And I can't wait to just experience what they experience and to go along with that journey with them. Because to me, it's those sensations that make Ellie Raine a incredibly talented storyteller. Because the art of storytelling is that you want your readers to feel the emotions and the just absolute depth of what your characters in your story are going through, and that to me is just extremely important. So Ellie Raine will be forever one of my more favorite authors who does this, because I am a little bit biased here because she is a friend of mine, but at the same time it's like I was interested in her books before I got to talk to her and everything, but when she explained what her books were about and the aesthetics of it and everything, I immediately knew I had to read it. So this is a shout out to Ellie once again for being just an amazing writer and an inspiration. And that's it for this book talk episode of this book talk episode for talking about Orbs of Azure. If you guys are interested in her series and everything, I've put the link for Orbs of Azure down in the description below. Yeah. From there, you can also find links to her other books that she's written, as well as links to the books that are on Audible. If you like her series and everything and just love the absolute depth and aesthetic of Gothic architecture and her just absolute brilliant mythology, you may also like my novel. Arborea Lux is a paranormal dark fantasy which follows along the journey of Lux as she decides to take on to herself solving the mystery of the disappearance of the last Aster Blood, what happened, and also a little bit of romance and the possibility of stopping the conspiracy for a coup to occur in the city of Obsidia Terma, where vampires and the ruling royal family of demons basically rule over all social discourse. A very awkward plug-in for my book, but it is almost April 26th, and the live stream to celebrate the brick and mortar release of my debut novel is close at hand. I will leave the Amazon link for my book if you want to read it down in the description below, right under Ellie Raine's Amazon link. If you are interested in getting a signed copy of the book, please feel free to put down in the comments below your username or a nickname so I can add you to the pool for the sweepstakes giveaway. And I hope you guys have very much enjoyed this video and everything. I like doing the book talk series because it's like they're really fun to do, and I love gushing about all of these books. For more updates about whether it be my writing projects or videos and everything, please follow all the social links down in the description below. If you like this video and want to see more content like it, please subscribe and ring that bell for more notifications. Also tell me about what kind of books you guys like reading and everything, and why they're so important to you. If I find one that really speaks to me, I'll probably do a video about it. Also, speaking of videos, please remember to stick around for the next 2 days, because I will be doing a video every day until April 26th, when the live stream is going to be active. And that live stream will start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. My name is Kat the Crow-Winged Author here at the Magic Library, and this has been an episode of Book Talk talking about Orbs of Azure. Have a very wonderful day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.